Good morning, everyone. I have 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so let's go ahead and begin with the NNLM Southeastern Atlantic Region update. This was provided earlier in the month, and my name is Tony Gwen, the Executive Director for the NNLM SEA region, and I'm just going to give some updates of things that are happening in our office as well as within the NNLM in general. To begin, if you need closed captioning, you can go ahead and visit this website here, and it should be captioned for you. And I'll go ahead and share that in the chat box here as well. So again, if you need closed captioning, please visit this link, and you should be able to follow along via the closed captioner as well. The first thing I would like to share is that the request for information from the National Library of Medicine on the next iteration of the National Network of Libraries of Medicine was released. They are looking for responses throughout the nation of what you believe would be beneficial for the new iteration of the NNLM beginning with 2021 through 2026. So all of the responses are due by December 2nd, and they're asking for no more than 3 pages reviewing and discussing things related to the NLM priorities, possible strategies and partnerships that the NNLM could have, the different outreach programs, engagement and training, what membership should entail, the NNLM structure, and our general service coordination. So since this is in a PowerPoint, I'm also going to share both the link to the request for information from grants.gov as well as where to respond via email. So please feel free to review the request for information, and if you have any thoughts regarding the priorities, outreach, or the structure of NNLM, please feel free to send an email to that email address. So as a reminder, the NNLM is currently 8 regional medical libraries, and those are the locations of each of the regional medical libraries. In addition to the Regional Medical Library Program, there are a number of different national offices. The University of Maryland, Baltimore has the Dockline Coordination Center. University of Washington has an evaluation office. UMass Med has the Public Health Coordination Center. Utah has the training office, and University of Pittsburgh has web services. There was a new coordination center that was announced that is still working its way up, and it's the AIDS Community Information Outreach Program Coordination Center. And this will be housed out of the University of Massachusetts and will impact the entire nation. So they're still new, and there are a few new people who will be a part of this center, but you should hopefully be hearing some more information related to the ACIOP Coordination Center shortly. Within the NNLM, we have a number of new staff members who recently began since October when we gave the last update. Liz Waltman is our Education, Outreach, and Communications Coordinator. Kiri Burkhat is our Data and Evaluation Coordinator, and Jared Irwin is our Consumer Health Coordinator. So they will be teaching classes throughout the region as well as online. Hopefully you've seen some of the announcements of the classes that they've been teaching. If not, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to share some information with you. Regarding outreach and engagement, we have had a number of new network members join our region. You can see that we've, in the last year, have enrolled 429 new members to the region. So we're currently at 1,831 total network members within our region. So that is fantastic, with a lot of people interested in providing health information outreach throughout the community. Another thing that I'd like to announce is that as part of our engagement program, one of the things that we're doing this month is related to the Health Literacy Month and Medical Librarians Month. You do not have to be a medical librarian to participate, but if you have interests related to health literacy, community outreach, or health outreach in general, please feel free to participate. So one of the things that we're asking people to do is to select from the National Day Calendar something that inspires them from this month. You can write an article, create an image, make a short video even, and submit it to us, and you could win a free conference registration of your choice. You would have to select it by April 30th for us to go ahead and register you for that, and it would be up to, I believe, $1,000. So if your conference costs $800, that's what we would pay for. So for more details of this engagement activity that we have, you can visit this link that I put into the chat box. And even though we had a deadline of earlier, we'll still take any potential submissions by October 31st even. So please feel free to look that over, and I hope that you would spend some time and submit something that inspires you from the month of October. All right. There are a couple of new engagement activities that are being developed. The first one is our celebration of our 2000th network member who will be in the SEA region. So we're pretty close, and we hope to have an announcement soon of when that happens. And then we also have National Public Health Week is another session that we're thinking of doing some more activities, and that will be from April 6th through the 12th in 2020. So you should be hearing some more information about that later in the coming year. Another thing that I would like to do is to congratulate the 2019 Michael E. DeBakey Library Services Outreach Award winner. Her name is Rachel Fensky. She is an Information Services and Outreach Librarian at the Biomedical Library at the University of South Alabama. And we've had the pleasure of working with her over the course of several years, and we were thrilled when she was announced as the DeBakey Award winner. So Rachel is seen in the middle, and she's standing next to Dr. Patty Brennan, from the director of the National Library of Medicine, and Carla Funk, who worked at the Medical Library Association as the executive director before retiring. An announcement is we have a new resource that is available for our network members called NNLM Delivery, and it is a document delivery service for our network members so that you can share or send links to ILL articles that you need to lend to someone. So it's a way for you to provide a link to someone who has requested an article for you from your institution, but because it might be an incredibly large file attachment, your servers might not let you send that file out. This is also a great benefit for many organizations that would not let you use Google Drive or Dropbox or anything like that. So a lot of hospital libraries or VA libraries may benefit from utilizing this service as well. So for more information, I would encourage you to visit NNLM Delivery. Let me go ahead and put a link into the chat box here if you are interested in learning more about that. So the files that you upload on there are listed there for or available there for a short amount of time. So do pay attention related to the FAQs and the user guide so that you can see how long the resource will be available on NNLM delivery should you choose to utilize this service. All right. So the NNLM SEA has been quite busy over the past year related to exhibiting at various conferences. Over the past year, we have exhibited at 18 conferences, and we've provided 13 sub-awardees the opportunity to exhibit with different community organizations or community fairs or events around the region. So we've exhibited at 41% more exhibits, and because of that, we've reached more than 257% more participants at the same time. So I feel that we've been really getting ourselves out there to promote the National Library of Medicine that way as well. We will be at a few upcoming exhibits in our region. The first one will be the Public Libraries Association Annual Conference. We will also be at the Georgia International Conference on Information Literacy, as well as the South Carolina Public Health Association. If you've been to any of our exhibits, you may have seen a number of different banners that we've had available from the new National Library of Medicine exhibits. You may have seen some of the Libraries Transform banners that we have available, as well as some of the banners that we have for all of us. Soon, we will have a site available where you can request to have any of these exhibit banners sent to you if you are exhibiting at a community health fair or you have an event related to at a hospital, for instance. You can request one of these banners, and we will be happy to send that to you so that you can have that available and on display. So more information on that should be coming soon. Regarding our funding program, we have awarded over $300,000 this current year so far, and it is a little bit less than what we had awarded in the previous year. The reason why is that there will be a couple of award announcements that will be coming out soon. The first one that we plan to announce will be a Disaster Preparedness and Recovery Project Award. There will be about 10 $5,000 project awards that will be available as soon as I get approval. And what that will do is give an opportunity for libraries, if they haven't created a memorandum of understanding with another library organization for a continuity of operations plan, that is something that they can work on. If your library has been impacted by a disaster, like a hurricane, for example, and you need to purchase new technology, you can do so. And there will be about 10 awards that we plan to offer of about $5,000 for any of those examples there, if not more. Another project that we are hoping to announce within the next month or so, as soon as I get approval, is the offer of a library carpentry workshop. That'll be a 2-day workshop that will be offered in Baltimore, Maryland, probably later this spring, late March, early April if possible. We plan to offer about 40 participants the ability to travel to Baltimore, Maryland to participate in learning about the introduction to data, how to use Python, OpenRefine, as well as an introduction to Git. To learn more about the library carpentry workshops, you can visit librarycarpentry.org, and I will go ahead and share a link of that into the chat box as well. Okay. Hopefully you are seeing some of those things. So hopefully if data is something that you are interested in and you're interested in learning more about Python or any of those resources, you will see information about how to apply to attend and participate. And if you are one of the people who are accepted into this workshop, you can also apply for a travel stipend if that is something that you need to cover some of the costs for yourself to be there. If you were awarded a project funds from us, one thing that we have created for our awardees is a funded projects guide. So once you've been awarded, what do you do? And there are things on that site or the resource guide related to getting started, any additional information. So what happens if you see that there are t-shirts that I'd like to buy? Can I really buy those? We have those answers there. What if we published and we have to cite that we were funded by the NNLM SEA? What do we have to do? So we have some additional information there for you to review and look at, and should be beneficial for you. For people who have questions related to invoicing, there's some information there. What happens if you discover after you've submitted your proposal and it got approved, you need to make some changes? What's the process for that? And finally, if there are any trainings that you offer, how do you submit an activity report? And lastly, at the end of the project, you would have to submit a final report, and what do you have to do exactly there? I went ahead and provided a link for that in the chat box. So hopefully you'll be able to look that over as well. Let's move on to our educational offerings and programs here. One thing I'd like to share with everyone is that over the past year, we have offered a total of 336 educational sessions, and we've basically grown by 84% and offered 84% more educational sessions, not just throughout the region, but throughout the nation. If you've attended a webinar or participated in an online training course that we've offered, those are offered nationally. And the same thing with any of the other programs that you might see online. If you see something available from the South Central region or the Pacific North region, you are able to attend and participate in any of those classes as well. One thing that I'd like to point out is that the Southeastern Atlantic Regional Office works collaboratively with all of the other regional medical libraries to offer programming, and we do try and communicate so that there is not a duplication of effort or opportunities at the same time. So we've been working really hard to make sure that we can be more streamlined in our educational offerings. With that said, we have also seen an increase in participants in all of our educational programming. So we have about 260% more participants with the programs that we've offered. Another thing that has come up is a request for us to streamline our informational and printed materials. So I'm going to go ahead and put that item in our chat box as well for you, if that's something that you're interested in. So there are two different order forms, one from the National Network of Libraries of Medicine as well as the National Library of Medicine. So you can request some materials for your library or for an exhibit that you may be participating in. There are a number of different downloadable materials from the NNLM as well as all of us that you can download and have available at your library. They should be printed either front and back or just one-sided documents. And there are also a number of additional resources that you can download for your use, whether it's for classes, if you are exhibiting or just doing general outreach to meet any other community member. So that would be a great resource for you to go to and see what might be available for you as well. You may have heard that there is a brand new PubMed that will be launching soon, probably early 2020, I believe now. So if you've missed one of the recordings that was offered this past September, or the webinars that were offered this past September, the recording is available here. So you can watch that and get some of the highlights from that and get an idea of what to expect when the new PubMed has been launched. Included with that has been a frequently asked questions document that you can refer to as well. From that, we've found that a number of people would like to have information for themselves. So if you are teaching medical students or nursing students or students in the health professions or any of the health professionals themselves, you can actually download these presentations here. So there's a quick new PubMed slide that you can adapt for your own institutional needs. And they also have a short version that you can adapt as well. The slides you can download, and they are scripted for you as well, so you know what we had intended to say, and you can adjust them to suit your presentation styles as well. Okay. So hopefully you can download those and make good use of that. Lastly, related to the new PubMed, one thing that I would like to let users know is that NCBI Insights has a blog post that I will share in the chat box as well, related to the new PubMed, and they have created a user guide, updates to my NCBI, and there are additional FAQs that are addressed in the blog post there. So please take a moment to review that if you are concerned about the new PubMed, and you should hopefully get a number of your questions answered by looking at the presentations as well as the new PubMed Update User Guide. Okay, continuing on with education, one thing I would like to let people know is that there are different specializations that are available that you can utilize and gain certificates for. The biggest one that we provide is the Medical Library Association Consumer Health Information Specialization Program. And then the other one that I'd like to let people know about is the Medical Library Association Disaster Information Specialization Program as well. The NNLM has purchased a number of specialization certificates from the MLA. So if you take our consumer health information classes, for example, and complete all of the work and get the certificates for the program, you can visit this site and fill out the form that is available for the consumer health information specialization, and you can receive your certificate for free. If you don't do that and just pay MLA for that, I believe it's around $80-some or more if you are not an MLA member. So that is something that I would recommend that you consider participating in, and it is free as well. The Southeastern Atlantic region has purchased disaster information specialization certificates through our office specifically. So if you do the coursework for disaster information specialization and you would like to receive a certificate for that and have it paid for by our office, at the moment, we don't have a generalized form for you to fill out, but you can email me directly and I will communicate with MLA regarding that so that you can obtain your specialization at no cost as well. I would like to let people know that we have a number of consumer health information specialization educational offerings that are available to you with with our staff here, you can request to have ABCs of DNA, or you can take ABCs of DNA from Addiction to Zits for teen health. Stand Up for Health is health and wellness services for your community for public libraries. If you're not a public library, you can take Beyond an Apple a Day, providing consumer health information at your library. Caring for the Mind, grants and proposal writing, and will duct tape cure my warts. Beyond that, we are offering other classes, clinicaltrials.gov, data visualization, health literacy, its importance to you, NLM resources for community colleges, and PubMed for librarians, evidence-based search features. And we are also offering a number of different online classes, ABCs of DNA, Big Data in Healthcare, the Data Visualization class, I believe, will be available soon, so that's something that you could participate in. And then currently running is Research Data Management 101, and I believe 102 will be offered this spring. There are a total of 19 on-demand Moodle classes that you can participate in at any time. The Chemical Drugs and Genetics class, I believe we will be making some updates and changes to once we have knowledge of a lot of the class or the NLM resources that will be retired beginning in December. So there will be some changes and updates. So if you want to wait until the new year to take that class, you can do so, or you can take it before we make all of those changes and revisions. There is also Evaluation Basics, levels 1 through 4, modules 1 through 4 that you can take, and it's about evaluating community health outreach programming specifically. The Grants and Proposal Writing class has been completely updated and is available for people to take. A new class that is available is Medline Plus for public librarians, and I believe completing that you'll be finished in it takes about an hour to complete that particular on-demand class. And another one that became available is Serving Diverse Communities. So hopefully, if you are someone that likes to take classes at any point in time, or you need to take a continuing education class pretty quickly, I hope you consider some of these on-demand classes that are available at any point. And you can work with them at your own pace as well. Oops, went too far. There are a few classes that our office is currently working on. One is on data health literacy. We plan to launch an infographics class, different than the data visualization class. The data visualization class is specifically utilizes Tableau Public as its resource, but infographics, there are a number of different tools that you could use. Even PowerPoint can be used to create an infographic if you would like. And then the last course that is still in development is Librarian Support for Nurses and Nursing Students. We're looking for a catchy title, so if you have ideas for a catchy title for any of those three topics, please feel free to email me, and I will send it to the course developer for those. There is an upcoming webinar that may interest you. It is Consumer Health Information Justice, Identifying and Addressing Information-Related Factors that Contribute to Health Disparities. That will be offered on November 15th at 1 p.m. So in the chat box, I've provided for you the link to register for that if that is a webinar that is of interest to you. Additionally, a thing that we hope to have available is we would like to feature the expertise of our region. So if there is a topic that you feel that you would love to talk about with the region, we will have a form available that you can submit, or if you know of someone that you know is an expert who could provide guidance for the librarians or the communities in our region, we would love to hear from that. So we will have a form available, and hopefully that's something that you will be interested in utilizing, and you can also be featured as a speaker too. Let's provide an update on many of the initiatives that are occurring within the NNLM. So one of the first things that came about was with the Research Data Management 101 course, a lot of people wanted to access the course materials even if they weren't going to be a student of the course. So what they did was they created a web page that listed all of the different course materials. So if that's something that you wanted to look at, you can go ahead and access them already. RDM 102 will be coming this spring, and it is currently being updated and revised, and one of the things that came about from past evaluations is the interest of data storytelling. So they intend to offer a module related specifically to that. Also be on the lookout for the webinar series, RDM, on research data management. So we plan to feature the expertise of people throughout the nation, actually, on research data management. And if you know of a speaker who you think would be able to contribute one or two aspects related to research data management, please feel free to let us know, and we would be more than happy to contact them as well. We also have the Wikipedia Edit-a-thon. We have a session that will be scheduled on November 20th, and for fall, this fall we are focusing specifically on mental health. So we hope that you plan to participate and utilize the hashtag #CiteNLM. And then if you are interested in learning more about that, let me go ahead and post something in the chat box about it, and we'll be able to have you participate in that here. So let me go ahead and put that in here. So you'll learn more about what you might need to do prior to November 20th so that you can participate in the Wikipedia Edit-a-thon there. Related to our outreach with public libraries and consumer health, we do have the Libraries Transform Health Literacy Toolkit. There are a number of different slogans that are being approved currently, and we hope to announce them within the next couple of weeks. But these are the current statements that we have available that you can print. And there are different posters, bookmarks, postcards that you can download and have available at your library or at any of the conferences that you might be exhibiting at as well. So please feel free to visit the Libraries Transform Health Literacy Toolkit and download some of those slogans as well. We have also collaborated with the Collaborative Summer Library Program. In 2019, this past summer, we worked on a universe of stories where we had did health in space, actually. We will be launching our fall, or the guide for next summer, which will be on Imagine Your Story, and it will cover fantasy, fairy tales, mythology, and we have figured out how to spin some current health programming in with this as well. So please be on the lookout for the new guide that was developed by NNLM related to this program as well. Continuing on, with All of Us community engagement, there are a number of different programs that the Southeastern Atlantic region has been supporting. The first one is the NNLM Reading Club. So you can request to have about 5 or 6 books sent to your library, and you can host a book club discussion on various different topics. And this month we are featuring health literacy as the main topic here. In addition to that, we have the National Health Observances Toolkit. For the month of October, we have also focused on health literacy as well, and there are a number of resources that you can download and utilize, from web banners and programming ideas that you can look at and access. So please feel free to utilize those resources as you see them. Another program that we have available, and this might be beneficial especially for teen health programming, is the Game of Health. You can request the Game of Health for your library, and there's different activities and things that they would do and participate in so that they can become more cognizant of health information resources, their family health history, their own health in general, and have a fun time learning at the same time. So if you are interested in the game board and the resources for that, you can visit this website to learn more about that particular program. For those who have signed up for the All of Us research program, we have also been busy with the Training and Education Center here. One of the first programs that we've been working on has been a webinar series to help people understand the benefits of participation in the All of Us program. So if you're interested in learning more about the Training and Education Center, please visit that website to learn more. There are a number of different things that you will be seeing from us related to some of the other initiatives that the NNLM supports. Related to citizen science, we will be working on the spring Wikipedia Edit-a-thon very shortly. With HIV/AIDS outreach, you will hear more from the NNLM AIDS Coordination Center. And then we have a new initiative related to library and information science to develop health science library champions and increase diversity in the LIS pipeline. We are going to be reaching out to some of the LIS schools in the region, hopefully, to get ideas, figure out what programming would be great with the LIS programs to collaborate with, and what can we do to help them out as well. And then one thing that I would like to let people know is that we encourage you to follow along with our electronic newsletter, follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, become a part of our Consumer Health Facebook group, or also follow along with the Bringing Health Information to the Community blog. So I will go ahead and post that in our chat box. So if this is something that you are interested in, please feel free to follow along with that and participate. And lastly is, if you have any questions, you can feel free to give us a call or email me, and you can also visit us on the website as well. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask? We are a bit earlier than I thought, so if you have questions, let me know. But I have provided you an update, and I thank you all for attending. Anne has said, what a wealth of programs that are offered. Thank you. Yes, I think a lot of people don't necessarily know what happens at the NNLM, and they only see maybe a part of that. So I wanted to make sure everyone knew of the great number of things that we also work on as well on top of that. How long after the new PubMed is launched can we expect all new training materials to be available, like the downloadable handouts and such? So the PowerPoint that I shared will have is related currently to what to expect from the new PubMed. There will probably be a little bit of lag time related to new material that will be available. So if you were thinking of trifolds or different informational educational resources, that might take a little bit of time, but we hope that they will come out within 3 months after its official launch. The National Library of Medicine has reorganized their Office of Communications, I believe, so they are most likely going to be developing a lot of those resources, and once they're developed, we'll have those available through the regional medical libraries as well. And also, if we get PDFs of those, we will also put that on that informational resources guide that I had shared with you earlier. So we'll make announcements and things on our blog, but also have the links available in that information and printed materials resources guide too. Are there any other questions that people might have? Oh, I got an email for a question actually, so I will read that to people. Someone wanted to know when upcoming NNLM funding opportunities will be available. So funding, I do not know specifically when that will be officially decided upon. I'm actually working on the budget for the May 1, 2020 to April 30th, 2021 year, and I won't be able to submit that for approval until January. Once I get approval from NLM, we will have a call for applications for what projects we may be able to fund then. At the moment, we actually will have a $600,000 decrease in funds for our final year of the cooperative agreement, actually. So our funding will be really tight, unfortunately, and I'm just giving you guys a heads up about that. But we do hope to have some funding available for some of the projects that you may have throughout the region. I don't see any other questions, but if you do have questions after this presentation, please feel free to send me an email. I am more than happy to respond as soon as possible. And sometimes I might not know the answer, but I will try and research that answer and find the best way that I can help you as quickly as possible. Thanks everyone for attending this update. We will have this posted online as soon as possible. Thank you all.